Now to Australia, where Queensland and New South Wales have been facing catastrophic fire danger at the highest level possible. And for the first time, Sydney has seen this threat level since the warning system was introduced back in 2009. At least 71 bushfires are burning across New South Wales. The smoke is so intense and so thick it can be seen from space and has drifted across to New Zealand. Fire crews are getting little help, though, from the weather. On Monday, the mainland did not get a single drop of rain for the first time since record keeping began.
Venice waiting for relief from days of what forecasters call exceptional flooding. The rising water crippling the lagoon city, forcing businesses and historic landmarks to close. The city actually under a state of emergency. It is the worst flooding Venice has seen in more than 50 years, causing hundreds of millions of dollars.
Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station received a 911 call of a shooting at Saugus High School. Within seconds, we received multiple calls, and within 2 minutes, at 7:40, our first units arrived on scene and encountered, in the quad area of the school, multiple victims, gunshot wounds. There were a total of 6 victims who were promptly triaged and transported to the local hospitals for treatment. Among those who were transported, it turned out to be the suspect, who is currently in the hospital in grave condition. And he's a male, Asian, 16 years of age, and a student of the school. The other 5 students, I'll have Captain Wegner provide their demographics. The school was locked down. They did partial evacuation. We also sheltered in place a portion of the school until we established who was responsible for this tragic shooting. The surrounding schools in the area were also placed on lockdown as a precaution. We did identified who the shooter was through firsthand witnesses, video surveillance. We confirmed it. We then executed a search warrant at the residence of the suspect, and now we're going through the very lengthy process of conducting a thorough investigation to figure out what happened and why. At the same time, we're busy now doing the reunification with the students with their parents, and all of the affected students have been notified, their families have been notified, and they're with them currently. So I'm now going to turn this over to Captain Wegner.
Thank you, Sheriff. My name is Captain Kent Wegener, W-E-G-E-N-E-R. I'm the captain of Sheriff's Homicide Bureau. This morning at 7:38, Santa Clarita Station received a call of a 245 just occurred, an assault with a deadly weapon, a shooting that had just occurred at 21900 Centurion Way in Santa Clarita at Saugus High School. Upon arrival within 2 minutes, Santa Clarita deputies recognized that it was an active shooter situation and conducted a rapid deployment onto the school premises. When they reached the quad area, they discovered 6 persons who were suffering from gunshot wounds. These were all students of the high school. All the students were triaged and transported to a local hospital. The suspect was later identified as one of the victims who was found in the quad. He is identified as a 16-year-old male whose birthday is today. The weapon that he used was recovered at the scene. It's a .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol, which had no more rounds in it, had no more bullets in it. He is a resident in the 22900 block of Sycamore Creek Drive in Santa Clarita. That location was contained by sheriff's deputies, and a cursory search was done to identify any other potential victims which may be at the location. There were none there. It is now being contained. A search warrant is being written, and it will be conducted to process that scene for evidence. We are in the process of interviewing students who were witnesses to this incident. Some of those students are being taken are still at the high school in a multi-purpose room, and other students are at Grace Baptist Church, where they will be interviewed by sheriff's homicide detectives. Additionally, we have scenes at the quad at the school to process the crime scene there, a team at the suspect's house, a team at 2 different local hospitals. And we have another team that's working with our tech crew to process any video which we may be able to get from the surveillance system at the high school. The FBI is here and they are collaborating with us to preserve and capture any cell phone video which the students may have captured of this incident at the time that it happened. The suspect's girlfriend and his mother are at Santa Clarita Station with detectives currently. Detectives have reviewed the video at the scene, which clearly show the subject in the quad withdraw a handgun from his backpack, shoot and wound 5 people, and then shoot himself in the head. There are no other subjects who are outstanding as part of this incident or who took part in this assault. The victims who are hospitalized, and I regret to say that at 9:23 this morning, one of the female victims, age 16, passed away. Her parents are at the hospital. There's another female victim, age 14, another female victim, age 15, and 2 male victims, each 14 years of age. Again, this is preliminary information. I know there are rumors out there about social media posts and different videos that may have been posted from the scene. We will be looking into that. At this point, I don't have any information about that.
Now to our breaking news. Mexico's president and top officials of the Mexican government are addressing this deadly ambush that killed 9 American family members in the Mormon community, including 6 children, some of them very young. This was in northern Mexico. You can see the aftermath of this hideous attack on this family caravan. CNN's Matt Rivers is live in Mexico City with all of the breaking details. What are they saying, Matt?
Yeah, Allison, still very much a developing story, but one that is certainly going to, really send shockwaves across the United States and, frankly, Mexico today. What we know so far, there is a large Mormon community. It's a sect of the Mormon church, not officially recognized by the church in Utah, but they have lived, this family and a large extended family, hundreds of family members have lived in this area. It's called Sonora. It's a state in northwestern Mexico. They've lived there for decades. And it was yesterday in the mid-afternoon that 3 different vehicles driven by 3 different women, inside the 3 vehicles, 14 minors, they left traveling for safety in a group. They were each going to go do different things, according to family members that we spoke to. It was around 3 p.m., according to the government, that this attack began. The motive behind it, we're not sure, but the aftermath was incredibly tragic. 9 people dead, 3 women, including 6 children. 1 child remains missing, and another 6 were injured as a result of this attack. What family members that CNN have spoken to are saying is they believe this could have had something to do with the cartel violence that we've seen in this part of the world before. What they think might have happened is that this group of cars was attacked by a cartel looking to attack another cartel, and this could be a case of mistaken identity. Now, the Mexican government obviously trying to respond to this right now. A daily press conference given by Mexico's president is underway, but it's clear they don't have a lot of information right now either going on. What they're saying is firsthand accounts by family members. And speaking of firsthand accounts, CNN was able to speak with the relative of one of those people who were killed.
I think a lot of us are just speechless. It's horrific. My sister could actually see the smoke from her house, and they heard the gunshots. Just can't believe that this actually happened to our family. It just seems like a bad dream.
And so the State Department says that they're looking into this from the United States, but clearly this is something that is going to really have a massive impact on the relationship between the United States and Mexico. John, Allison.
All right, Matt, we'll take it again. The Mexican president is briefing right now. We're hearing him suggest that there is still 1 child missing, and that's on top of the 3 mothers and 6 children confirmed dead. This is horrifying.
It's just shocking. And so obviously Matt will bring us any of the developments from that press conference.